I'm not saying that this is the definitive list of how to play the game. What I'm going to tell you here will definitely help you with some more advanced knowledge in the game, and if you know anything that can help the community, tell us in the comments section below. So, the most controversial thing that blew the minds of most in the last video was my take on the use of ultimates, especially when it came to both of the res-centric ults, with Revenant and Guardian. And while these two are not the only ones that have issues with their ults, others may be brought up later, these two have been considered my worst takes. I mentioned that these abilities should be used at the end of boss fights, when the chips are down and the stakes are up, and you have your ultimate, your 𝐼𝐼𝐼𝐼, your Wilder are down with 3 bars, the boss has no health, but neither do you. This is the perfect time to use these ults. But does this perfect moment ever truly happen? Yeah, all the time, and most often against 𝐜𝐨𝐬𝐿𝐴. Honestly, I stand by this take to the fullest. However, does this mean that these ultimates cannot be used in other times and places? Ah, hell no. The combo of Ghost Flame relics and power up your teammate and family relics on the Revenant are amazing at clearing camps and making so you can melt all sorts of bosses, from your basic golem all the way up to and including that red-eyed bastard in the basement. Also, with the proper ultimate charge relics, you can have this thing back like 2 to 3 times depending on the difficulty of the fight you are in. So you ghost mommy dummies, blast the white load all over your enemies, and save your allies. You are a walking 3 talisman relic with your own army. Own it. As for the Guardian, you know what's better than rezzing your party? None of them going down in the first damn place. Again, the reason this is more of a middle guide to the game is because you need to have relics to pull this shit off. But with relics that can set up you to heal your allies in your ultimate radius, reflect damage, and just your ability to stop damage, your ultimate can easily make up for the fact that you, as the team's emotional support mascot, is face down with his ass in the air, taunting the enemies to spank him. Just remember to hold the ability to its maximum effectiveness. So you big beautiful bird bastards, keep your shield arm strong, taunt those brain dead bosses, and keep your team alive. Now, issues of ultimates aside, let's talk about the ultimate issue that people who love to play the Samurai Proxy in the game have. Because, let's face it, they do exist. Last time we talked about this man, I brought up that not enough people are using his starting weapon and his parry skills enough. And boy did people not like this, even though most of them agreed with more of what I said than not. The Cursed Blade is, in my opinion, the second best defensive tool in the game. When used in a skilled hand, I would entertain it being the best tool in the game. For some reason though, when I brought up you using your skill and starting weapon, people started losing their minds. This character is as much of a dancer as Duchess is a dodger. Your dance is knowing when to switch it from Cursed Blade to upgraded base weapon. You have the best arcane scaling in the game as an Executor, or Executor, I know. And with just 2 relics, your weapon has Frost, Bleed, and Poison built in for your hack and slash emotional trauma attacks on all your foes. But it does not mean not to use the Cursed Blade. You win the castle and Tony's bitch ass just pulled both Crucible Knights outside the Talisman room. You can style on one all day while your allies beat down the Stick Boy. Also, this might be a hot take, but if an Executor pings the mines, he should be listened to. He is downright the main character that needs to upgrade his starting weapon over everyone else on the roster. Unless, of course, there are no camps of the element needed to beat the final boss, then it's okay to take a little field trip over there. Your friends can come too, don't worry. I wasn't going to make this a breakdown of all the skills in the game and how to use them, but I would be remiss if I did not mention how underrated Executor's ultimate is. While yes, he has the only ultimate in the whole game that you can die in, and it shows your tendency towards a certain degeneracy, there is nothing that this ability can't really do. Need to heal your allies? How? You need to revive an ally? Slap his ass with your dirty mitts. Black Knife Assassin needs to be brought low with an incoming storm but won't stop fucking dodging, you stun lock his ass into oblivion. And of course, you want to die? Well, you can do that in his ult too. He does it all. Let's not forget that essentially when you use this ability, it also heals you to your furry form's full health, basically giving you a whole new health bar. That is almost 2 of your base health. That's like 3 healing flasks worth of health. So embrace your persona more often and give your foes a doggy-style beatdown. Oh, you thought that was the only issue the Executor mains have? Well, for most of them, yes. However, there is this lovely sect of you that don't seem to understand one major thing about this game. Both of your teammates mark a church, and you know extra healing is never a bad thing, right? So why do you think it's a good idea to try to solo the Deathrite bird on the opposite side of the map? I get that Wolf from Sekiro is your spirit animal, but come the fuck on, this is a co-op game. If you're running with the Rees, if you want to be doing your own thing, play solos. You waste loot for the rest of us when you go from being a furry to a goddamn loot goblin. At this point, and for the love of God, stop leaving if you get yourself slaughtered. While there are still some things from the last video that we could be updating, and we might later, let's get into some new things that we know to help maximize our days. And let's face it, pathing is highly important. There are countless guides on how to get to level 15 by now, all over the internet. Most of us have either seen one as we were scrolling, looked it up if we couldn't path right, or just made the damn guide ourselves. Even with all this information, I still see people clicking a church to land at and beelining straight to it at the expense of all the loot and camps between where you land and where that church is. I know I said extra healing is important, but so is leveling up as fast as possible so that you can stomp all that is in your way. But with everything before and even everything after, we have another issue, and that is the elitism that we all have in every single FromSoft game. For some reason, searches on sites like Reddit, Facebook of all places, or even other YouTube videos, it seems like one of the most contentious things in this community is these damn mines. Yes, there are great weapons that can be found. Purple and gold rarities do exist and have extra effects on the latter that can make for a fun time using them. However, let's look at a few things here that almost every Executor worth his salt knows about, which is the way to set up their starter weapon to be a beast. Frost, poison, and even bleed on this thing makes it so you don't need a different weapon at all. Iron Eye seems to have trouble finding purples, and moving into the final night boss with blue just sucks. You know how to fix that? Go to the damn mines and get a smithing stone too. Trust me, you'll like it. And last but not least, different rarity weapons have a level requirement. Now I know that you know that legendary weapons require a level 10 to use, but did you know that you have to be a level 3 to use blue weapons and a level 7 to use purple? You know what you don't have to do when you use your starting weapon, even if you get a purple? Level up. That's right. So let's just say you finish the mine at level 2, and now you have the damage output capability of a level 7 character at level fucking 2. So tell me why you call mines noob caves. Anyone? Anyone at all? How about we stop gatekeeping and start actually looking at good ideas like they are just that? Because I know when all the level 1 runs start kicking off, all of a sudden this will be the play. Remember guys, I'm only one special ed guy on the internet, so if you know anything that is not in this video, let me know in the comments section below. So, like me, let's hop into the short bus issues and talk about a few little things that even the best players I run with seem to not know about. You see these little balls? No, not yours. These boluses can stack and give you a boost against the element mentioned in them. Fighting Libra? Grab a bolus against it. Fighting Adele? Get the anti-poison pills. And you might as well get the anti-bleed ones while you're at it. These little balls also give you a slight healing kind of bump. It's not much, but hey, it's a thing, right? So why leave them on the ground? Might as well pick them up and munch on FromSoft balls. So remember earlier when I mentioned upgrading your weapons? Well, another way to do it is if the super merchant is on the map. However, whether it's normal merchants or the super merchant, you should be visiting these madmen. The normal ones can sell extra item slots, weapons which can give you the element you need to fight the final boss, and even normal smithing stones. Also, and very importantly for you solo players, boom! a Winding Grace, an extra revive. But to add on that, you can get a second one if the Super Merchant is also on the map. Speaking of the second type of merchant, this musical genius has an extended inventory to die for. Now first I should say these guys are normally found in these little villages marked on the map, so you could say they're easy to find. However, sometimes they can also be elsewhere on the map without markings. But onto the extended inventory. They have extra weapons including purples, talisman including the Erdtree's Favor and Dragon Crest Shield, which are both bangers, and even better items. So don't forget to visit these little shops of horror from time to time to make your runs much easier. Well guys, with that being said, if I keep this video going much longer, my editor might actually escape his editor dungeon to strangle me. Dude, we've got 91 fucking bosses to go through.
Hell no!
So if you want me to make any more tips videos, let me know. Leave a like on the video and subscribe so you can see when we drop a new video and go live. Join the members so you can get sneak peeks on upcoming videos and a say in what we do on the channel. And remember, be good to each other. See you in the next video. Peace.